When I started singing years ago, that African countries will be running to Nigeria. Hello. That African countries will be, see, they go their roads. They compete amongst each other to see where Nigeria they, to beg, to struggle, and see how they can benefit from the glow in Nigeria, from the rise of Nigeria, from the shine of Nigeria. When I was saying this many years ago, it's been 5 years going, I was getting backlash. Ghanaians will come out and say, what is in Nigeria? Yahoo Republic? You want us to come and learn Yahoo? Eh? You want us to come and learn this that kind of shouting life? You want us to come and learn this and that? That was the backlash I was getting. Not just from one country, from the whole African countries. A lot of them, let me not say who, because so many people also believe in Nigeria. I mean, Lumumba and so many other people also believed in the vision. They said Nigeria is literally the solution to Africa. You know, it's a solution, as in, if Nigeria is well, Africa is well. If Nigeria they sick, Africa they sick. Fact. You cannot argue it. And people were not happy with that just because one young Cameroonian YouTuber, one young Cameroonian is struggling to change the narrative about Africa. They expect that everybody who wants to unite Africa, everybody who wants to talk about one Africa, everybody who wants to bring Africa together, we carry the same narrative of, oh, let's stop doing this, let's be one Africa, let's be one Africa. No. The only way we can become one Africa is when we start to understand the importance of certain countries in Africa. Not just understanding, respect, honor, and appreciate those countries. For example, the only way Afrobeat, African music, became a global success for Africa is when the entire African continent understood that the people that have to make this Afrobeat and this African music a global success are Nigerians. It's only when the music world in Africa, the music atmosphere in Africa completely came and agreed that, guys, we understand we are all Africans, but the people that have the mantle, it's the mantle, the people that have the mantle to take it globally and make it known to the world that Africa has great music and Nigerians. And the moment we understood that and stopped that our attitude of ban Nigerian music in Cameroon, ban Nigerian music in Ghana, ban Nigerian music in Tanzania, the moment we agreed and stopped that rubbish, Nigerian music cover up for the whole Africa. Today, every African in the diaspora, every African in Europe, every African anywhere is enjoying the glory of Nigerian music success. Of African music success. We are all enjoying that glory when we go to the diaspora, because we see how the white people envy us. They are happy to be with us. They see us, they ask, are you Davido's brother? Are you Burna Boy's brother? Are you Whiskey? Are you Tens? Are you this? We all Africans, we enjoy that success. It helps you. It helps your children. It helps all of us, because we agree that no, Nigeria, carry the flag. Oh yeah, they go. That is the same thing we must do when it comes to African economy. We must carry that same flag and give it to Nigeria and say, Nigeria, you are the one to lead us in this continent of Africa. Now you go lead us to the promised land. Nigeria be the Moses of Africa. You understand? Nigeria is the Moses of Africa. You see, until all Africans will see that in Nigeria as their Moses and follow, so Nigeria can lead them to the promised land, okay, nothing go better for us. So that is the honest truth in Africa. And it is gradually happening. If you are told South Africans, even as I'm making this video now, telling South Africans that your government and your leaders and your people, they are actually negotiating. In fact, they have negotiated and begged Nigeria to supply oil and crude and fuel to South Africa. Many people will argue, many South Africans will still be arguing that Nigeria is supplying fuel and crude oil, that South Africa is depending on Nigeria. Many South Africans, because they think their city is beautiful, because they think South Africa is looking maybe more beautiful than Nigeria in terms of buildings and all of that, they think there's nothing South Africa needs to beg from Nigeria, there's nothing South Africa needs to learn from Nigeria, or there's nothing South Africa can gain from Nigeria. Okay? You need to go and study. You need to go and do research. You need to go and learn work. Because as I'm talking to you now, it's not just South Africa on the list. In fact, the funniest part is all this the particular countries where their citizens, some of their citizens refuse, they vehemently, intentionally refuse to accept that Nigeria is the giant of Africa and that Nigeria can help Africa progress. These countries that have that kind of people, now the first countries to come and beg. It's funny to you, right? The countries that their citizens, they attack Nigerians the most, that don't want to hear anything about Nigeria the most, those are the countries that the government of those countries are quick to come to Nigeria and negotiate for businesses and economic relationships and deals and partnership that can benefit their country. I can tell you people flat that Nigeria is the only African country that can tell the whole Africa that, see, I don't need any good relationship with you and still survive. Nigeria is the only country that can say, tell South Africa, no problem, don't come near me. Tell Ghana, don't come near me. Tell Cameroon, tell everybody in Africa, see, I go do on my own and I go still make am. Nigeria can still do that. Only Nigeria in Africa can do that. Nobody. Because, like I was telling some Nigerians we were discussing, people just look at Dangote fuel. I asked them, do you know the impact of this man's fuel? Do you know the impact of the refinery? Do you know what is that refinery is costing Europe, America, and other countries? And do you know the impact of that refinery in Africa? I told people, see, if Dangote did not sell one drop of his fuel to Nigeria, if Dangote say, I'm not selling my one drop of fuel to Nigerians, see, nothing will do Dangote. Because other people from the other part of the world are ready in the queue to buy. Other African countries are ready to buy. Other African countries are ready to say, Dangote, we bless you, we thank you. Sell it to us if Nigerians don't want it. That is the honest truth that even some Nigerians don't know. They'll be saying, Dangote is a businessman, he's just making his money. If he's just making his money, why didn't he go and establish, build businesses and companies in the diaspora the way other Nigerians are doing? How many airports does Adebayo Ogunlesi has in the UK? How many Nigerians do you know that have hotels, mansions, hospitals, mega businesses in America, in Europe, in other countries? Because they think those countries are better, they can make more money there. They don't reach past Dangote. They are nowhere near Dangote. The man who decided that, say, I will carry the mantle of Nigeria and Africa on my head and invest in Africa and show the world that we Africans can become billionaires too. Somebody will now open their mouth and talk. Now, this is the Dangote today. Because of Dangote, as a matter of fact, the countries I'm even mentioning, South Africa, Ghana, Cameroon, Angola, these 4 countries. Forget about Cameroon because we are brothers. It's close here. So basically, it's normal for Cameroon to just come and benefit. Any good thing that is happening in Nigeria, Cameroon should be the number 1 person to benefit. Some Cameroonians, they too mumu, they know they understand. They will sit there and be opening their mouth, ban Nigerian music, talk about Nigeria. They don't even know that if Nigeria closes border with Cameroon, if Nigeria just gets up one day and say, this Cameroon, I want show na shege, it closed the border. Cameroon goes sing where. You understand? That is the basic truth and the reality. These countries I'm mentioning, Angola, Ghana, South Africa, they have oil, they have resources, they are big, they are great, but they are running to Dangote. Not even Nigeria government, let me put it that way. They are running to Dangote. Nobody pay tax for Nigeria past Dangote. Nobody. So it is his money that the government is using to give your local government, give your governors to chop, even though some of the governors are working so hard to develop their states. Others are chopping the money. That is what many people need to understand, do research, and come to realize. So it is a beautiful thing that this is finally happening. The dream is finally coming true, that Nigeria is now the savior. Nigeria is now standing the gap as the messiah for many African countries in the oil sector. And not only in the oil sector, they have done it in many other sectors. Any normal Africa, if you are true to yourself now, you should understand the role Nigeria is playing on this continent. If you are still arguing, if you are still doubting, something is wrong with you. Maybe when your mama born you, your brain never developed well. Your brain was not fully developed. That's why you have comprehensive issues. What should I say? What should I say? If we still have people arguing simple facts like this one. So, as it stands now, Nigeria is helping South Africa. Nigeria is helping Cameroon. It's help. I know it's business, but it's help. Because if South Africa knew where they could get the fuel at a cheaper price than what Nigeria is giving them, if South Africa knew where they could get the fuel and everything they are getting from Nigeria in another country at a cheaper and a better rate, they wouldn't have come to Nigeria. You think before they started signing the deal to get it from Nigeria, they were not taking it from somewhere? They ran from that place because they know that, this place we are taking it from is not easy, or they are dealing with us. So let us go to Nigeria where it will be cheaper, where it will be better, where it will be more comfortable. That is the reality, and that is the honest truth. So we must come to understand. So South Africans, if your government could go somewhere else, he would have done it. But he came to Nigeria, which is good, which is highly celebrated, because that's what we need. We need African countries to learn how to depend on other African countries, not depending on Europe, not depending on China, not depending on America. If any African country is producing something, other African countries should buy from that African country. That's how we can create massive economic allegiance that can catapult Africa for greatness and change the narrative. And let the whites, let the Europeans know that Africa is not a dumping ground. Africa is also rising. Africa is a rising star, and they cannot stop us. They cannot quench our rise. They cannot stop us. Without a fear there, let them come. So that is the message Africans are sending, and I'm super proud and super happy that Ghana, South Africa, Cameroon, Angola, and many other African countries are waking up to see Nigeria as the Messiah and the Savior. Not just that, but actually partaking in the cause of making Nigeria's greatness, making Africa's greatness, by us working and living together as one people in Africa. It is what it is. Your boy Ajay Magzi on this one again. Smash the like button, smash the notification bell. Come back anytime you're free, guys, cause there's always more beautiful and amazing videos just for y'all. God bless y'all. Cheers.